The media is still abuzz with the story that Paul Ryan has been chosen by Mitt Romney to be his running mate. And it's being positioned that Paul Ryan is a huge libertarian. Forbes called him Ron Paul-esque. The Financial Times said he was a conservative of the libertarian kind. And the New Yorker said that Paul Ryan is your annoying libertarian ex-boyfriend. But they're trying to get Paul Ryan, the right is trying to get Paul Ryan to seem like a libertarian, to appeal to the base, the Tea Partiers, the Ron Paul supporters who were so influential during the primary, or vocal anyway. And then, of course, the left wants to paint everybody as a libertarian because they think there's nothing worse than a libertarian and everybody knows it. So both kinds of media are painting him as a libertarian. But if you dig in, you see that he is not a libertarian at all. And that his welfare plans, his Medicaid, his Medicare, his Social Security, they don't actually reduce entitlements. They just restructure the method. And to me, libertarians are the opposite of neoconservatives. That's the tension in the Republican Party right now. So calling him a libertarian is the opposite of what I think he is. I think he is the architect, the spokesperson for the conservative welfare state. And this is what I'm talking about. There's this book. It's really the Neoconservative Handbook. It was written by Irving Kristol. It's a collection of essays. It's called The Autobiography of an Idea. And he was really the founding father of the neoconservative movement. And what he says in that book, it's from an essay he wrote in 1976. It says, first, start implementing this conservative welfare state. The Republicans should give up on the idea of small government and balanced budgets. And they should start embracing the idea of the welfare state because that's where the power is. And so what will happen, he says, is as you implement the Republican welfare state while the Democrat welfare state is still in place, you'll have a budget crisis, which we have. And that will force voters to decide which kind of welfare state they want. One where the government takes the money and directs it where it wants, or one where the government lets you keep the money or whatever, doesn't tax it and take it away, but tells you how you have to spend it. Directs it into social programs like health insurance or retirement accounts or whatever. But it makes you buy stuff or invest in things the way they want you to, how much insurance they want you to have, how they want you to plan. So that's the conservative welfare state, and that's the word he uses. And to me, that's what Paul Ryan's Medicare plan is. It's a voucher system. You go through private insurance companies. The government doesn't take it, but they're still getting you to spend the money where they want to, which is why Newt Gingrich called it last year on the campaign trail. He called it social engineering from the right. Paul Ryan's budget. But everybody's getting in line now, of course, instead of me. Not everyone except me. But I will say this. I'm not saying I wouldn't rather have the conservative welfare state than the regular traditional welfare state. But as a libertarian, I don't want the welfare state. I think it's a lie because you can't actually get something for nothing. I think it's a way for the government to get money and power and structure society the way those in power want it, because they're in power. That's how they're going to use their power. And personally, I think that it rests on forcing people to do things. The only way the government can force people to do things is because it has a monopoly on the use of force. It can force you to do stuff, and you can't opt out. So Paul Ryan is not a libertarian. We can talk more about that on the show Sunday, 1 to 3. And I just wanted to show you, if you saw the last video, how awesome does my poster look in the frame. I love it. Okay, talk to you Sunday.